Alrighty folks, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing pretty good. Today we're looking at James Bond. We have two more. Oh, that one's gonna fall. I will let it down slowly. There we go. So two more James Bond cars. As you can see, I got all the every release here and present. But oh my gosh, this time of year is brutal on the wallet. Mini GT tends to, if you guys are new, Mini GT tends to slam a bunch of releases through November and December because a lot of China takes a big holiday, a big break from like work and whatnot in January for the Chinese New Year, and so Mini GT tends to slow down throughout the beginning of the year. They typically January is pretty dead, maybe a release. Maybe like one release the end of December or whatnot, and then typically there's a break, and then it starts picking up again normally in February. But around November and December, they try to crank out the last of the releases for the year so that they don't get too behind with January and whatnot. So there is just non-stop diecast coming out. And it's not really just Mini GT, it's like every brand. So I've been spending way too much money, but I did get these in. I bought both of these on AliExpress. And pretty good prices. They had some really good, AliExpress had some big coupons for like Black Friday. So I got the flagship store BMW M4 GT3, the 2025 China GT Fist version. So this one's really cool. I think this one is really nicely detailed, so I'm excited to have this one. And prices on these are going down because they did the actual store exclusive, which is this white and blue box. And then they also had a vending machine at one of the expos over there in China, and they sold this same exact car, but it was in a yellow box. And so there's a lot of them now. Don't overpay. I wouldn't recommend paying more than like 50 or 60 for these, so just be patient if this is one that you were looking to get. But yeah, there's that. I'll stick that right there in the back. And I also finally got this in. We'll be reviewing this very soon as well. The AR box, almost real, BMW M3 GTR, the E46 from Need for Speed. It is licensed by Electronic Arts and Need for Speed. It is licensed by BMW. So very, very cool here. So yeah, very excited for that one. I've been meaning to pick this one up for a while. The art in the background is amazing too, and from first impressions it looks great. Anyways, let's get into the James Bond cars. So I have the first 6 releases here, and then this one is the BMW Z8, very cool, from The World Is Not Enough. And then this one over here, really excited for this. This is the Lotus Esprit Turbo from For Your Eyes Only. So very cool. Lotus licensing on the back for this one, and then of course BMW licensing there. So I'll take a quick pause here and get these opened up. Alright, that should be pretty good here. So we'll start getting rid of plastic. Here's the Z8. Get rid of all this plastic, get it out of the way. There's a card, we'll look at that in a second. Now we'll do the Lotus. I also have really, really good news. I guess we made enough noise. I know I wasn't the only one complaining about it. A lot of people were complaining about it on Facebook, everywhere. Glenn and Mini GT have heard the complaints about these stupid heat-sealed triangles on the blisters. And Glenn also mentioned why you do it. I'm going to cover this more in the next news video, but just a quick little thing. He hears the complaints. There was actually a good reason for doing this, and I understand it, but they hear the complaints about it, and they are going to be changing it ASAP. I think he said it's going to take about 2 months or so, which would make sense because we're going into like the holidays and whatnot. But yeah, these will be changed, and they should no longer be near impossible to take the blister out of the card without damaging it. So that is great. But anyways, really nice artwork. Here's the one from The World Is Not Enough. Very cool. I love that they do these real movie posters. It's just so awesome. And then of course there's all the info on the back. Licensing is all there, everything. And then here's the one for the Lotus Esprit. Classy, very classy, a little cheeky, but there it is. Roger Moore, sorry. Very cool. And then there's the information on the back. Lotus, James Bond, all the good stuff. So there's those, and here are the cars. I'm going to start with the Z8 because we have seen the Z8. We got the stock one before the James Bond one, which is kind of funny. But this is Mini GT number 906. Of course, these James Bond cars come in a bunch of different language variants for the actual box and blister. card art and whatnot. I get the English ones for all of mine because that's the only language that I read and can speak. So yeah, English just makes sense for me. I'm not buying multiples of these, so simple as that. But like I always love the white silhouettes and the gold lettering on the boxes. It's just super clean. These boxes do scratch really easily though. That is one of the downsides. So typically I get these into protectors immediately, and then as you can see with all these, I'm typically pretty careful about pulling them in and out, like the box in and out of the protector. I just try to keep them scratch free, but these ones are already all pretty scratched up even in protectors. It's just how this light silver color goes. But anyways, here's all the information on the back of the box. Pretty much the same stuff we saw on the blister. And here is the car. So it's in the same color as the one that we saw. I should have pulled that one out, but I actually don't know exactly where it is. I've been working on organizing stuff a little better. But anyways, I really like this one because, like, obviously it has the little rockets that come out of the sides. Got like little doors that open up with the rockets. But I like that this one it has the soft top up. So these are convertibles. I think all of the Z8s are convertibles. I don't believe they made a hard top Z8. I believe they were all. But this one actually has the soft top up, which is actually really cool. It's just black plastic. I don't think it's painted or anything. It's just a black plastic, and it's a little wavy, which gives it the impression of it being like a softer material. So I do really like that. It kind of looks like it even sags a little bit in the middle on the inside right there. But yeah, it looks awesome. And then the window in the back of it, which I believe on the real car, that window would be like a clear plastic. So looks very cool there. And there's actually some detail on the interior, just like the other ones. Just because they put the top on it, they did not completely skip the details. No, they didn't do anything for the seats, which is a bummer. I wish they would have. But the side windows are open, which is actually pretty cool. But the steering wheel has some silver on it. It's got that cool, like, I guess all the Z8s had this, but really cool steering wheel, bunch of silver detailing, little BMW badge in the center. The gear shift right there looks like it's got some color on it. I think it's silver. And then I think the handle for the handbrake has some silver on it. And then the gauge cluster in there also has some detail. Probably pretty similar to the convertible ones. So really like to see a little bit of detail in there. That is good. And yeah, I think the only thing different from the regular release we got is obviously it'll have the license plates from the movies. So front and back. The soft top is up, and then it has these little rockets that come out from these doors, which is cool because on the bottom you have the venting and the BMW badge on the bottom of that door. So they didn't get rid of that just because it's open and that faces down. They kept that, which, man, that makes me wish I had it out, the regular one out. But anyways, very, very cool. The rockets, they're just little like white rockets, missiles, whatever you want to call them. But they look pretty cool. And then like the doors come down with like 2 hinges from in there. And then yeah, I love that they kept the BMW badge and the vents on the bottom of that little door. Super, super cool. And like I said, I think that's the only thing different. There might be some other gadgets on this one. But there's not really anything that I'm noticing. I think it's just that, but super cool. I love it. And like I said, we looked at this casting before. Mini GT did a phenomenal job on it. I compared the stock Mini GT against the one that Almost Real released in the big BMW box set. I really like them both, but something about the Mini GT felt a little bit more solid than the Almost Real. So incredible casting. The silver paint is phenomenal. The wheels are amazing. BMW logos in there. There's actually a good amount of space in between the spokes. Of course, it rolls smoothly. Rubber mirrors, painted silver. Headlights look awesome. There's some nice bold detail back behind the lenses. You can see that on both sides. Kind of like a tinted lens. But then these little lights down here in the grille, those are probably, I would assume, like fog lights. Those are clear acrylic, and then the turn signals are also orange acrylic, which is awesome. Grille detail looks good. The silver outlining around the grills is nice and sharp. Very good looking. And then here's the back view. The 2 exhaust tips coming out right there, done in silver. And then the main taillights, dual, like a 2-tone, orange on the top and then red on the bottom, which is accurate. And then a couple more lights right here. License plate, and then some more lights down there, and then 1 light up here above the the trunk or the boot. And BMW badge looks really good. Just incredible looking car. Incredible. I will throw up a photo of this one with the one from the movie. Hopefully I can find a picture of it with the rockets out. And yeah, once again, Mini GT has impressed me with the James Bond line. I think I mentioned it, but like at first I wasn't real super excited for the James Bond line because I had never seen the James Bond movies. But then I started, I think this was the first one to release. I got this and I was like, okay, these are cool. And then they started coming out. I kept buying them, and I really, really like these cars. But anyways, let's move on. Mini GT number 907. Of course, the Lotus Esprit Turbo from For Your Eyes Only. Again, boxes do get scratched really easily. They dent really easily too. Like the dents are super noticeable. You'll see that right there. But there's all the information on the back. Lotus licensing is awesome to see. We don't get a lot of Lotus from anyone, so it is very cool. Like we've gotten some old F1 stuff from Mini GT, but anyways, here is this one. So as far as I can tell, there's not a whole lot of like gadgets or anything visible on this particular one. And if there is, I really hope somebody tells me. But isn't this the car that turns into the submarine? Okay, I was researching and looking at some pictures. And so this is not the submarine version of the Lotus Esprit. That is a different white Lotus Esprit from a different movie, I believe. But after looking at photos and watching a short clip of the movie, I don't think this one is supposed to have gold in the wheels. I think that gold is supposed to be dark gray. And then from what I could tell, it looked like the interior was black on this one in the movie. So is that some inaccuracies, or am I just not looking up the right car? I think there was only two Lotus Esprit turbos, the like red copper one and this white one. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm not sure. I think I need to watch the movies now. But also, unfortunately, this one I learned that self-destructs in the movie rather quickly. So there's that too. I might be wrong on that. But so I guess this is like the regular version of it, and then they'll do another version of it with it being in a submarine. I could be wrong on that. I think it's the Lotus, though. I really need to watch the movies, apparently. But yeah, this one looks fairly stock to me. Of course, it'll have the license plates from the movie, but other than that, I don't see too much. But this is just such a cool car. What year is this car? I don't think it says anywhere on here. That is one thing I wish Mini GT would do, is I wish they would put the year. Sometimes they put it on the base. They did for this one. So this is a 1980 Lotus Esprit. Awesome. I like that they at least put it on the bottom on some of them. I think they should definitely put it on the packaging. Like maybe on the back right here, like just put the year of the car or something, but it'd definitely be helpful. But yeah, 1980, and it's just got that like classic 80s and 90s, like it's angular, but it's also square. Oh, I just love it. I love it. The wheels look amazing. I believe these are probably supposed to be BBS wheels, like a two-tone BBS wheel with like a chrome lip and then a gold spokes. The wheels actually look really nice. Of course, they're not as detailed as like you would see in real life. They can't have air passing through the mesh like basket weave spokes, but I love these Euro weave type of wheels, especially the older ones. And so I think Mini GT did a really nice job with these. It looks really good. And then a nice glossy white paint job. And then in 80s fashion, you have the turbo. that was a thing that I noticed a lot of like 80s and 90s cars, whether it's JDM, I think American cars did it, European cars. A lot of them, when like back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of them really liked to put the turbo lettering on the actual car if it was a turbo model. And I think there's just like a really nice charm about that. So Turbo Esprit right there on the side. I like how the turbo's red and then Esprit is white with like red outline. You have it up here at the front and then on this side as well. Just super cool. Red pinstriping down the side and then black pinstriping down the side as well. Just looks so cool. So cool. Here's the front end. Of course, this car does have pop-up headlights and they're in the down position, but you do have the turn signals right here and probably a turn signal / fog light in there. License plate looks good. Black bumper. Just really nice. I think there's also a little Lotus badge up there right above the turbo lettering too, which is cool. And yeah, one of my favorite things about this is you get a tan, like a leather tan interior, which is amazing. It looks phenomenal. This is a gem. And actually the stock silver Lotus Esprit Turbo just dropped last night on our CMart, so I have that coming too. Really excited. This could be one of my favorite models of the year, depending on how that stock one looks. But louvers on the back window, which is super cool, nice and sporty. That's just done in, actually that might be metal. I can't tell if that's metal or not. I think it is. I think that is metal. So metal louvers, it could be plastic. I might be wrong. But that is really cool. You can actually see through them. And then there's the back view. Taillights look incredible. They're nicely textured with those like vertical lines. Two little sections of red on each one with a little thin sliver of reverse light. And then the orange blinkers on the far ends. Very cool. Dual exhaust right there. A couple silver tips. And then Lotus on the back bumper in white, kind of embossed in there. Mine's a little messed up. There's a bit of the paint chipped off around the T right there, and then a little bit on the O. So that does kind of suck, but yeah, hopefully that is just specific to my model. Hopefully that's not a problem with all of them. Yeah, and then the white valence underneath that black bumper, it just looks so good. Love the yellow license plate. This is just so classy. There's the bottom view for you. Not too much going on, but some nice detail. Metal base, of course. And then mini DTs roll good. So black mirrors, just little tiny things. Yeah, this car looks incredible. Now I know why a lot of you guys were excited for this. It is really, really good. Even if you're not a James Bond fan, I kind of recommend picking this one up because it is stock-ish, just has the license plates, and it is so good. I don't remember if the regular silver release that just dropped has a colored interior. I don't remember if it was black or if it was tan or something, but yeah, that looks so good. So good. I love it. Amazing. Another two bangers from the James Bond line. I'll throw up some pictures of this one before I forget. Should look pretty dang good next to the real car, I think, for being 1/64 scale. Oh, I also just noticed there is a little rear view mirror in there too. It's just done in clear, which, I wish they would have painted the front black or something, but it's not something I see on Mini GTs very often. Oh, there's one on the Z8 too, and they painted that one in black. Oh, that one actually has reflective, like some sort of reflective, that's silver paint or something. Okay, so why did they do that one clear? Well, that's cool. I don't typically recall seeing rearview mirrors too often in Mini GTs, so that is really good to see. The 750IL had one too. That's cool. Little detail they might start doing more and more. But anyways, very nice cars. Very, very nice cars. I am happy. Wow, the lineup's getting big. How many is that now? 8 James Bond cars so far. Plus, they're doing all these cars in stock versions too. In fact, the stock version of the red Mach 1 just dropped as well, along with the stock version of the Lotus. So a couple more stock cars that originated from the James Bond. I just love how many cars the James Bond line brings us, and that's part of the reason I love it so much and have a big appreciation for it. Is, would a lot of these cars been done by Mini GT if they didn't do James Bond? It's kind of hard to say, but yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I got for you guys. Very nice stuff here. Can't recommend this enough. Just so good, so good. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you and thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.